Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Shy Sox Talk. My name is Chris, here with my co-host Nat. How are you tonight?
Hanging in there, but looking forward to this.
And we have a guest tonight, Instagram handle and TikTok handle of MLB Genius.
The Genius.
The Genius is on the podcast tonight. How are you, man?
I'm good. The Genius is here to drop some knowledge for everyone. Excited for this. Excited to just talk about the White Sox.
Awesome.
Right on. Yeah, we needed some brains on the show, so
yeah.
we brought the Genius on.
Called on the Genius.
It tripled our podcast IQ with you coming on the show. So tonight we have our giveaway that we put up a couple days ago of the Frank Thomas autographed plaque. Did a little spin wheel thing on the internet, and Billy H474 won it. So we'll reach out to you, Billy, on Instagram.
Baby, Billy Hamilton won it.
It's Billy Hamilton who won it. Reach out to you on Instagram. We'll figure out how to get the plaque over to you. And thanks for following our Instagram page, everybody. We are a small little podcast, but we appreciate the support. So tonight we. With the Genius on the show, we thought it would be fun to go through the Sox lineup 1 through 9 and kind of give each player a grade and just kind of discuss our beloved White Sox. So I think who would like to take the leadoff spot here and surprise everybody with who you got batting at first?
I'll go first here. I'll be rude and go first. We won't let our guest go first because I think he's going to have a better lineup than me. So. Here's my lineup for everyone. We're going to lead off. We're going to go with Tim Anderson. Obviously, I'm kind of thinking about moving him to the 2 spot and do a real crazy lineup. But we're going to go with Tim leading off, batting in the 2 hole. This might be a surprise to some, but I'm going to go with Yasmani Grandahl because of the high on base percentage. So if Tim strikes out, you got another chance to get a guy on base. I know he's slow. As slow as you could possibly be, but I like him getting on base a lot. He has a lot of power. I'm a big believer in hitting your best batter in the 2 hole, and I think Yasmani's pretty much your best hitter all around as it stands right now. In the 3 hole, Lewis Robert. Not much you need to say about that guy. He's a freak. Bat and cleanup, Eloy. In the 5 hole, Brayu. In the 6 hole, we're going Yoan. I was thinking I could see him going in the 2 hole too. I think he's a little far down the lineup. If the power comes back up, you got to move him up in the lineup. I feel, and I think you will see the power a little bit up next year. Then the 7 hole will have the DH hit, so that'll be for this exercise. Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn. 8 hole, Adam Engel, and then our fearless leader, Leary Garcia.
I think Matt's internet cut out.
I think I froze a little bit there. So
you did. Who's the fearless leader?
Leary Garcia. Heart, hustle, and muscle, dude. Heart and soul of the team.
Postseason legend.
Seriously, I almost died from screaming so loud.
Hit 2 massive homers for the Sox in the span of a week. Walked it off against the Red Sox, and then Game 3.
Center too.
I was at both of those games.
You were the missing link, Matt.
Yes,
you were the missing link.
I go to a game, it's a home run coming out of my guy.
Genius, would you like to kind of go next here? Give us all the perfect lineup for the White Sox.
My lineup's going to catch you guys off guard for sure, but I'll explain why. So leading off, on base percentage is huge, but I feel as though it also has to be one of your 2 best hitters, only because they're getting the most at bats of anybody on your team. And when you guys talk about how you want each specific hole in the lineup to have their purpose, you have to understand that the leadoff hitter isn't hitting leadoff every time. They're only going to hit leadoff, 1 of the 4 times. So after that, it's just who can get the most at bats. Do you know what I mean? So I think leading off, I would have Yohan Moncada. I think he still had a very good offensive season with basically no power at all. If he could just get his power numbers even close to where he was in 2019, he would be a great hitter. He would get on base a ton and be perfect at the 1 spot. 2 spot, I think, is Luis Robert. I think he's for sure the best hitter on our team. I mean, maybe besides Grandahl, but going forward, he'll be the best hitter on our team. He should be in the 2 spot, no question. Now, I don't think the 3 spot should hold a lot of value. Maybe a little bit less than the 4 spot, only because they hit with 2 outs a lot. So somebody like TA, I mean, sorry, I'm making a game time decision here. I'm thinking.
You're going like you got like the new age approach to kind of setting the lineup where the
yes.
I'm too old and stupid to think.
I'm
like
gonna put Yasmani third. Yasmani's gonna be 3, just because of his power and that those 2 out solo shots would help a lot. 4, I would go TA, just because I think he's our next best hitter. 5, I'd go Brayu. And also, TA in the 4 spot would bat leadoff a decent bit, which would be good for him with his speed. 5th, I'd go Brayu. 6 would be Eloy. I think Eloy will be the second best hitter on our team pretty soon. But as of right now, he has more to prove, so he's 6. 7 will be Adam Engel, unless Sheets or Vaughn takes a major leap, which they could, especially Vaughn. Then 8 is Sheets and Vaughn. 9 is Larry Legend.
Garcia. Yeah, his whole page is based off of metrics and numbers. Fun fact for everybody who listens to our podcast, MLB Genius does not think Ken Griffey Jr. is a top 20 player of all time.
That is true.
That is
true.
That is a hot take.
I'll tell you what, though, Moncada in the leadoff spot, I know when he was leading off when he first came up. They thought he was going to be the leadoff hitter. I'm interested in kind of seeing that through.
I mean,
that's a crazy lineup. I would love to see that, like a game.
We all know, like, there's no chance TA doesn't lead off. Like, he's going to lead off no matter what. So, like, whatever we think should be, or whoever we think should be the leadoff hitter isn't going to hit leadoff. It's going to be TA.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Mr. Tony La Russa.
Yeah.
He's going to go with the classic approach to the lineup, I imagine.
Yeah, the thing with TA leading off, and I, am a believer in this, is he's kind of, as Tim goes, is as the White Sox go. And I think that is why it is a huge part of him leading off for this team. Because, I mean, even look at the clinching game. He hit a nuke shot to start the game off, and everybody just follows. And then the games where he kind of 0-3, 0-4, kind of similar down the road. So I think he's more of a tone setter in the leadoff spot than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a serious problem with him at first, but I would rather have probably Robert, Moncada, or Grandahl hitting leadoff.
Alrighty. So I got maybe I might make some Pito fans a little upset with where I got in Patton here. So I got TA7 leading off. His OBP is I think a 385, close to 400, and then his batting average is just over 300. So he doesn't walk a ton, but he puts the ball in play a lot. And when he can lead off and get on second to lead a game off, or even hit a home run, I think it's a really kind of like a nice little tone setter for the team. 2-hole, I got Luis Robert. He's going to be the best batter on the team moving forward. He's a dark horse 2022 MVP candidate. In the 3-hole, I got Yasmani Grandahl with the OBP and the power, because he can hit a ball about 550 feet. 4-hole, I got Eloy. In the 5 spot, I got Moncada. In 6, I got the DH Vaughn / Sheets. 7, I got Brayu. 8, Adam Engel. And 9, Larry Garcia. The thing with Brayu is his OBP, or his slugging and OPS plus against righties this year, was like in 700s, and I I just think we're starting to see the decline, unfortunately. If there's a lefty on the mound, a Brayu jumps up in the lineup, but this is every day you're going to see more righties than lefties. Usually, that's why I got him in the 7 hole.
I'm gonna directly disagree with that. I think even against righties, putting Servan, and first of all, he's definitely not declining. His 2021 season was his best season since like 2014. He was actually
and his MVP season in 2020.
Well, I mean, yeah, like 60 games is 60 games, so I don't view that.
Fair enough.
He was really solid. I know we were probably looking at different stats, which is where we usually find our disagreements. But
he just didn't hit righties that good. He was average against righties.
Maybe we'll have to have an Brayu debate.
I love Brayu. Don't get me. Don't put me on this. I hate Jose Abreu bandwagon.
I can't believe this guy hates Jose Abreu. Holy cow! You call yourself a Sox fan.
He's just not hitting righties like he used to. If it's a left-handed guy, I got him in like the 4 hole. But if it's a righty on the mound that day, batting in like 6, 7.
I need to check on these stats you speak of. I'm gonna need to see this for myself.
He's got to pull.
Now I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble from the Genius now.
Oh yeah. Let's see this. Okay.
Let's.
All right, let me see this.
I mean, I love Abreu. I think there's better hitters in the lineup now than him that should probably bat ahead of him, but I don't know if he's got to be down the 7 hole. I mean, either way,
OPS plus against right-handed pitchers in 2021 was 703. Or is OPS? Sorry, not OPS plus. OPS 703 against right-handed pitching.
I mean, so the stat called WRC plus, which is a little bit more defined than OPS plus and accounts for the actual value that a player brings, their overall offensive value, has him at 116. It's on the same scale as OPS plus. So 116 is like above average. And overall, he was really good. So like if he's like basically at the level that Sheets is against righties, I feel like you should still keep him ahead because I don't feel like Sheets or Vaughn, even against like the opposite hand, is going to be better than like Abreu, or at least significantly enough to put them over him.
I also did it because you got a switch hitter, a lefty, and then your right-handed guy, and that maybe I got the Tony La Russa syndrome, but looking at a strategic standpoint there too, like that's going to make teams kind of pick and choose their poison. Do you want to face a lefty versus Gavin Sheets and then a lefty versus Brayu? Or do you want to take your chances against Gavin Sheets with the right-handed pitcher?
Then again, you have to remember now pitchers have to face 3 batters. So it's not like you have like you can like bring in a lefty sidearmer, then a righty. You kind of have to pitch to all of them anyway with one guy.
You win 2 matchups there. I'm just saying. From a strategic, I played a lot of MLB The Show online. It really messes with people when you got it like that. But I mean, I love Pito. I just got him in the 7 hole.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, if you have any lineup that's pushing him into the 7 hole, you got to have. There's going to be some good hitters ahead of him. So
yeah,
good problem to have.
Obviously, just like with the TA thing, Tony is not batting Abreu 7. So.
not a million years.
It's not going to happen. He's going to be in the 3 hole next year, everybody. Sweet. Well, let's go ahead and we want to do like a consensus lineup and then grade the guys as we go?
I mean, you want to just go like across the field since we all have different lineups anyway. Just like start it.
Catcher, Yaz, what do we got?
I have him for an A+, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I'll give him I don't know if I can give him an A+, but he's definitely an A player.
I give him an A. The defense behind the plate worries me a little bit. I don't know. I
don't think it's as bad as.
I don't think it's bad as either, but I don't think it's. I think that's what restricts him from being an A+ catcher.
What about his defense? Don't you like?
I just don't think he can call game. I think his blocking is also hurts him, and that's why you don't see as much breaking stuff when he's behind the plate versus when like maybe Sebi Saval is behind the plate. And that's why Lucas Giolito doesn't have Yas catching him, maybe. Because if you notice, it's always Collins or Sebi who's catching Lucas this year. And
Lucas got to get that figured out because those guys are bad at baseball.
Absolutely.
Going into 2021, before the season, Yasmani Grandahl was probably a top 3 defensive catcher. Really elite catcher. Because in today's game, how a catcher brings the most defensive value is with his framing. Because, throwing runners out and all that just isn't that common anymore. And Yasmani Grandahl over the last 2 seasons before 2021 has saved his team over 30 runs strictly from framing. In 2021, that was a little bit down, but he was still above average, and he's still a top 10 defensive catcher. I just think at times he does stupid stuff, and Sox fans just see that and think, oh, like he's lazy, he's not a good defensive catcher. But he is good, undeniably good at defense. And obviously, everyone knows his hitting is really good.
Yeah, hitting's great. He's a great framer. I like as a traditional defensive catcher. I think he lacks a little bit, but I think he lets a couple of balls get through that a better defensive catcher would not. But he more than makes up for it with the pitch framing. He's unbelievable what he does with that ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's an elite pitch framer. It's just you see too many pass balls.
Yeah, but when you're watching the game, it's hard to factor in the amount of runs he saves from the pitch framing. Like when he has a pass ball, you see that right there, but you don't see the runs being saved from pitch framing unless you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And he's fucking good at pitch framing.
Unreal at pitch framing.
That's why he has so many catcher interferences, because he's always grabbing that ball in the strike zone.
Yeah. For sure.
Which is bullshit call, but that's beside the point. I think that is getting a little refill.
And real quick, I have a question for you guys. Where does Yasmani Grandahl rank among catchers in baseball for you guys?
I think he's number 1. I think he's above Salvi and Yadier Molina.
Are you ready for another genius hot take?
All right, let's hear the genius hot take.
I want it.
Salvi is not a top 10 catcher.
He's not very great behind the plate. He can hit it.
I don't think he's a top 10 catcher.
How many games did he even play behind the plate last year?
Most, I think.
No, he played like 100, 120, 130. He played a decent bit.
Yeah. I would take that catcher from Houston over Salvi. Because here's the thing. Salvi can hit the ball, but he's awful behind the plate. And that guy might be an automatic out, but that dude permanently stops the run game. Guys just can't move
his name? Maldonado, right?
Yeah, Maldonado. Yeah, he stops the run game. People can't steal on him. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Houston snuck him in the 9-hole, and
throwing guys out becomes less valuable as a trait in baseball. As no one even steals anymore. They don't want to risk the out,
except for on the White Sox, because Houston. That's all Houston did.
So White Sox have an 80-year-old guy calling the plays.
That's also true. He used to sleep at the wheel, if you guys know what I mean.
Tony, come on the podcast. I got some cold ones waiting for you.
At first, we got Jose Brayu. What do we think?
A-, B+. I'd say B+.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a B, just a straight B.
I think B+.
I think it's a really good
defensive year.
Though. I think it's harsh grading, but I give him a B.
I think he had one of his best defensive years this year. at first.
Well, that's what the eye said for me. Like my eyes told me that. I don't know if the numbers back that up. I don't know. I don't know what Genius knows about the defensive stats.
I'm pretty sure
I
he
still
was
don't really
confirmed.
understand how they come up with the defensive numbers, but
It's really cool actually how they do it. Yeah, he was 29th percentile, outs above average, so not that good, but not horrible for his bat.
I mean, I thought
he was
had a great,
really bad. He was a real bad defensive player when he came into the league. So he was all.
But I mean, first base defense doesn't matter that much anyway. If you're just like slightly below average, it's not going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's not like having a bad shortstop or a bad catcher.
Or a bad center fielder.
Good thing we have a great center fielder and a great shortstop.
And catcher.
And catcher. Garcia at second.
I mean,
A+ because of the home run in the playoffs.
I mean, are we grading it like as far as their potential or like how they actually played? Because I think like
the year he had
for him probably like an A- or an A.
Yeah, he had a great year last year.
Like obviously, Jose Brayu was better than him this year.
Yeah, that's
true. Yeah, but I guess if we look strictly at second base, Leori playing second base.
All right, yeah, A-.
I think A-.
Yeah,
I think his feeling lacked at second base. I think he's better fielder short or third. But I mean, I don't think I'd grade him. I think I'd give him a B. I don't think he had a better season than Brayu.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he didn't have a better season than Brady, but like if I'm looking at these guys in a vacuum, so like Larry's grade for Larry Garcia.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like, Larry Garcia is not going to have a great offensive season, but a good offensive season for him, like, might deserve an A+ just because like, he's not that talented. You know what I mean?
He had a better offseason than Jeff McNeil for every White Sox fan that wants in. Okay, you already got somebody better. He's already at second. We don't have to trade for him.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'll give Garcia an A- in a vacuum.
He's a great utility player. He's the perfect player you want on your bench.
Yeah, perfect guy. Just don't put him in right. Don't up 2 runs. Don't put him in right.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't understand that whole sequence.
I don't either. We got Tim, TA7, the man himself, shortstop.
A-.
Yep, he's an A. He's an A.
I'd give him an A too.
He played great last year.
He's the heartbeat of this team. Hot take. He was the best shortstop in Chicago for the past 3 years for everybody on the north side.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely the best shortstop in the city the past 3 years.
Yes. He his numbers were a little bit down from 2019 and 2020, but that was just bound to happen. He was pretty lucky those 2 seasons, and his batted ball data pretty much guaranteed he would regress a little bit, but he was still really good. And now he's becoming a like close to great, but like good defender, like really solid defender with his great base running. He's just a really well-rounded player, no weaknesses, and obviously like the heart and soul of our team.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that batting average balls in play stat with Timmy and Yohan, everyone makes a prediction every year that's going to drop a lot, and it really hasn't, because those guys hit the ball so hard. And Tim Anderson, he's unbelievable. He's just wherever the pitch is thrown in the zone, he just takes it where it wants to go.
Also, so when people look at those stats don't account for shifts. And sometimes what TA will do a lot is he'll see that the whole right side of the field is open, and he'll just like flip a ground ball out there just to get a hit. And these, batted ball stats are saying, well, he's hitting the ball soft. He's not going to get hits in the future, but he just keeps doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's relatively sustainable.
He's a hit machine. He's unbelievable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's like with Yasmani, like last year when he was like batting like 1 50 or whatever.
Mhm.
But like he was just
Yeah.
pounding the ball in the gap right at a second baseman because of the shift. But if you weren't shifting, those would have been, shit, those might have hit the wall on the roll. He was crushing them.
Mhm.
Tim, over under 20 home runs next year?
I'd say over.
All over. I hit the over on that.
Over that too. We got Yohan Moncada at third, player grade 2021.
A+.
A+.
I give him an A. I thought he had a really good season. People were down on him this year. Like he wasn't the third highest WAR third baseman in the majors.
I mean, his power numbers were down, but I thought he was really good.
Yeah,
with the glove.
really good.
I agree. I just feel like when he was significantly better, like in the last full season, 2019, like how can you give him an A+? You know what I mean? Like we know that his potential is higher. So like wouldn't an A+ season mean like he had his power and everything?
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm gonna bring him down to just an A- then.
Yeah, because that's how I felt. Like he was really good. He was just lacking the power, so he wasn't at his full potential.
If he could learn how to hit against the shift, he would be just like his power numbers will jump up because a lot of those balls he ropes into the right center field, which would typically be a double, but teams shift on him and your center fielder standing out there. But if he could learn how to hit against the shift and open up some extra holes out there, he's getting on second.
I also really wonder how much he was affected by the ball changing throughout the season. Like, is that why his power's down?
I mean, it happened to everybody in the MLB.
That's true.
The power numbers didn't tip that much, and he wasn't hitting the ball in the air. It wasn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Rob Manfred's ploy to ruin Yohan Moncada's career.
They had a special ball just for Yohan. It's like anti-Cuba propaganda. He's like, these guys are too good.
This guy hangs out in Tampa.
These Cubans are too good. Give them the corked balls.
I think he's an AA- guy. He was awesome in the field though this year. Any plate disappointments he might have had, he more than made up with his play on the hot corner.
Yeah, he was great out there. Like unbelievable. I think that's his natural position. I think he played that when he was in Cuba. He played a lot of third base, coming up with the Red Sox. And then we popped him in at second base when he came up, or the White Sox popped him in at second base. And he was kind of a butcher out there he just wasn't a good second baseman for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think you make it to the majors because you're really good at one thing, and it's really hard to learn another thing. That's why what Andrew Vaughn did this year is super, super impressive. Being able to play like left field out of nowhere is why he's an untouchable. Also, side note, Yohan Moncada, if you ever see this and you're at Epperson Lagoon, respond to my Instagram message, man. I'm 5 minutes away from you. Moving into left field, Eloy Jimenez. This is a tough one.
C or C-? That's C-. Nah, D+. D+.
I give him C-. I mean, he was obviously affected by the pack. Like his power was affected, and we were going to see a huge jump in power this year. But after like his first 15 games, I think he hit the ball out of the park like 3 times. It just, I don't know.
He was hurt. He was kind of a roller coaster ride last year, and in the playoffs, he really didn't show a lot of power, but at least he got some hits. I'll give him like a C. Actually, I probably should just give him like an F because he did the stupid thing during spring training. Like that was 100%. It's not like he was trying to make a play or anything. He was kind of just being an idiot out there.
I remember how mad I was when that happened. That was like no way that just happened.
It's like, what are you doing, man?
And at the time, out for the season. Like that's what everyone was saying.
Oh yeah. Matt messaged me if we were working. Matt like texted me. He goes, Eloy's dead. And I was like, what? And then he was like, he tore his pec. And then the team acted like he was dead. But which was like the weirdest thing ever in Anaheim. But yeah, I mean, that's just like
That was really weird.
signed his jersey and hung it up.
Yeah, it's like, he's not dead, guys. He is very much still alive.
Jose had his batting gloves in his back pocket.
It was weird. It was weird. A little bit of an overreaction, but hey, I think it got him in the playoffs. So
Yeah,
whatever you
let's go.
do.
We got La Pantera, Luis Robert in center. Shortened season guy.
Undeniably an A+.
Yeah, dude, that dude is a freak.
I don't think there's any like argument for this not being an A+.
Unless you're a hater.
Yeah. Unless you blame him for a hip flexor injury.
Like, you hate Luis Robert for some reason.
And there's no reason to hate him.
There's not, dude. He is an amazing baseball player.
Yeah. Like you said, like you guys just said, like going to the majors, you know, you're good at one thing. To be that good at hitting, defense, and base running is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He is incredible in center field. He just makes it all look so easy.
Like routine catches, he makes look really, and they're not even routine. Like they are, like to an average center fielder, really hard catches. Yeah,
reads it off the bat perfectly and is super fast. And since he opened that stance up, I don't know who told him to do that, but whoever did deserves a huge raise because he like went from like looking like he's going to be a good player, like this guy's going to be a solid, good hitter. But he came back after being hurt, opened the stance up, and it's like this guy looks like the player. He looks like the best player in the league, the way he's hitting the ball.
I know Matt and I have talked about this before, but Genius, you think he's got a shot to be better than the Big Hurt?
So how old is he? 23?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
23, 24.
Let's see. Let me just calculate this in my head. He has a shot for sure. Because all right, Genius has done his calculations. So
Genius calculations in. Let's hear it.
So with guys who play first base, they lose a lot of their value due to the position they play. So Robert is going to be able to, and I go off WAR a lot for like who's greater, who had a better legacy, and Robert should be able to have like monster WAR seasons, like especially in his prime, and like right now he's on pace for like an 8 like WAR this year. It's like ridiculous. So if he plays like has like 5 elite years and then like 5 good years, I think that puts him really close. I mean, I don't know how long he's gonna play. You don't know if he'll have more injuries. You don't know, you don't know what's gonna happen. But I definitely think he has a chance.
I agree because he is so good, and Frank Thomas gave you nothing in the field. And
yeah, I mean, because I think he could. I don't know if he'll ever be as good a hitter as Frank, because Frank was ridiculous. But if he could be like close to as good a hitter as Frank, he definitely could pass him just because of how much value his defense and base running brings.
He's a beast. He's an absolute freak of nature. The league is on notice. They don't even know what's going to happen. Like, this guy is Mike Trout. It's like, seriously, Mike Trout is on the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to pay him $400 million, or I am going to burn Jerry.
We got him locked up for 7. He's locked up for 7 more years, I think.
His 6, 5 or 6?
I think it's 5. 6 more at this point. I think it's 6 more. I think it ends.
2020 was the first one, right? 2020. He's still 2026.
Oh yeah,
they got 5 more of them.
I'll personally chip into the contract when it ends.
Seriously,
we'll have a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
and we'll just Venmo Jerry Reinsdorf. Okay, you can pay him. All right,
whatever he needs.
Whatever he needs. Okay, he has a sweet.
Yeah.
What is it? Like a Lambo with a Naruto wrap, whatever that is. Okay, he's a cool car. Keep him in Southside Chicago. And last guy in the field, because DH is rookie is too young to grade. Adam Engel. I give him like a D+. He's made of glass, man. He was hurt so much.
All right, but you didn't like.
Yeah, but when he played, he was like, he disappointed me more than anything else this year because like he had the world's worst hamstring injury. Okay, like the thing completely disappeared. I guess
you gave Grandahl and Robert an A+, even though they were injured. So
yeah,
it's not like any different. I think we should go off like how they did when they played.
C-.
I would get. I thought when he came back from the injury the first time, he was crushing the ball. Like we've shown so much power that you really hadn't seen out of him before, and he was consistently hitting. Like I thought we found another star, diamond in the rough here with this guy. And then he got hurt again, and he gets hurt constantly. I don't know why. He's often injured. Maybe it's because he played so much football in like high school. I think he was like a star QB. But I like Engel. He's a really good bench player to have, like perfect defensive substitute. Honestly, wouldn't be if we got a second baseman and didn't get a right fielder. I wouldn't be like that upset if that guy was your starting right fielder to start the season.
All right, I looked at the stats. B-. I'm sure. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam. I was more upset at you for being hurt. I let that rage get in the way of my grading.
No, I give him an A+. Had he continued the season at the rate that he was playing, so everybody on the team played a full season, including Grandahl and Robert, he would have been our third best player. He was so good when he was there because obviously everybody knows he's crazy fat. He's basically like Luis Robert, just goes for hitting. But his hitting was the third best on the team. Like he was literally a better hitter than Brayu and TA and Moncada this year. And it's like out of nowhere with this elite defensive baseline, and also he was really good in 2022. So it's at this point, even though he's been injured, like I'm totally fine taking the gamble with him as our right fielder and just hoping he stays healthy. Because even if he was like an average hitter, he still like brings you a lot of value overall as a player with his defensive baseline. He has so many good hitters already.
I would be completely okay if the White Sox sold out for a second baseman and took the risk with that and being your everyday guy.
Especially if you had like a Patel or like somebody like that, like just what if he stays healthy? Like he's getting paid like nothing. Like we could actually have.
I agree with the Genius here because I think that kid is I think he's like a special player that he's had a rough entry into the league, but it really seems like he's figured something out these past 2 years, even though he has just like the ugliest swing ever. I don't even know how he ever hits the ball. His swing is so ugly and not smooth at all. He looks like a football player playing baseball. But he figured something out, and he looked like a Major League Baseball hitter the past couple seasons.
And he is a Cub killer. He goes to Wrigley and he kills the Cubs.
Our whole team, when they play at Wrigley, is ridiculous. Eloy, obviously, Brayu, like us when we're at Wrigley Field is ridiculous. When we play the Cubs at home, I feel like we play bad.
Well, we scored like 20 runs on them one night. Oh, yeah. So go ahead and drop that on them. All right. Have fun, north side of Chicago, for the next decade. Lovable losers are back. They're not lovable. They're just a bunch of losers. Have fun with Nick Madrigal.
Just losers now.
Have fun with Nick Madrigal. He looks really fast. It's just because he takes short strides, so his legs move like.
It's because he's 3 feet tall.
So much hate from White Sox fans ever since we traded him, and it's for no reason. Like he never did anything to anybody, and now
I have not been a Nick Madrigal fan since they played the A's in the playoffs because he single-handedly lost like 2 games because he couldn't turn to double play.
In the wise words of Matt Ray, if he was 6'2", no one would like him. No power. And he just – it's cool that he doesn't strike out, but he can't field or turn to double play to save anyone's
Seriously, I
life.
think he had like the yips or something with the White Sox because he double caught so many balls and was just not the fielder.
He would always like when TA would like flip it to him, he'd like hold it for way too long, and then he had like the worst arm strength, and he would like lob it over. Like so many double plays were like ruined because of him.
Yeah, he pretty much single-handedly lost the A's series. He was really bad.
That might be. I mean, don't forget.
I mean, don't forget all of the pitching too, but and Ricky Rodriguez also just going insane.
And Dane Dunning just throwing, 2 outs in the first inning and getting pulled. That was weird.
I mean, Ricky also lost his mind too, so
Yeah, Garrett Crochet threw like half an inning.
Like, is your hand hurt out there a little bit? Is your arm hurt?
Get out.
Get out of there.
Get him out. Awesome. Well, we appreciate the Genius coming in to the podcast and gracing us with all of his knowledge and advanced stats, because Matt and I are too old to. We miss the modern wave.
Yeah, just like stuck in our ways.
The 90s kids, Or before the internet was popular.
I'm an 80s kid.
Everything was the eye test when we were growing up. We didn't have the internet.
Yeah, it's true.
We had dial-up.
Can't look up weighted runs created in the baseball encyclopedia.
Any final words you'd like to say about our team here?
And I think they're the 2022 World Series champions. Calling it right now. Luis Robert, MVP season. I think Eloy breaks out. I think they play the Dodgers in the World Series. I think it goes 7. They win in LA. So you guys heard it here.
That.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Sign me up. Yeah, absolutely. Matt, any words of wisdom?
I don't really have anything today. Usually I have something to sign off with, but just I think our grades are, I don't know, it seems like it's a pretty good team. A lot of good grades that we gave out. So
hell yeah.
Thank you.
Frozen.
Yeah, Matt, you froze again, dude. Get better internet.
Got a really good internet connection here.
Yeah, I mean, I think White Sox fans should be super, super excited about this team. Regardless if they go out and spend big money on like a Nick Castellanos or somebody, you should be super, super pumped about this team's potential. Also, Dylan Cease, 2022 Cy Young finalist, calling it right now.
They get a second baseman or a right fielder. Hopefully both, but either or.
I think a second baseman.
I think second base is more of a priority.
Yeah,
I agree.
Agree with that. Well, thank you for watching again. Billy will reach out, and let's go White Sox.
Make sure to follow the Genius.
Yeah, follow MLB Genius on Instagram and TikTok. We'll link them up on our Instagram. And thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. You were great.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.